Welcome to Coach's Corner Cat fans. Thanks for joining Mike and I again on this Monday afternoon. I'm glad to be joining you because that means we're still alive and well in the playoffs. So we're looking forward to the challenge with Anna at Piqua this Friday night. But first, let's back up and then go back to the Tri-Village game last Saturday. Or Friday. So we went into the game. Feeling good, but not really sure. Tri-Village was undefeated, and they had averaged about 50 a game, and had a running clock, I think, on every game this year at some point, which unfortunately for them probably was a disadvantage as the game wore on. So congrats to Tri-Village. You know, they ended up 11-1. They've only had football for 8 years, and so I think 5 in a row now they have made the playoffs. I commend their staff at Tri-Village, not only their coaches, but the whole community, I guess, very friendly and organized, and their facilities were really, really nice and clean. And so I commend them. I commend their players. You know, after the game, several of them came up and talked to me briefly, and they were good. You know, took it like men. You know, when you lose, it's always tough, especially when you had an undefeated season going. So they end the season 11-1. The game itself, we talked to our players about taking their first punch, and so fortunately we got off to a great start with 3 scores, and then the second half when they got a little momentum at the end of the first half, when it was 19-7, I guess at half, and we came out and had a couple really long good drives to keep that lead, and so just a good fun clean game. We only threw 1 pass the second half, and I don't know, got into good run mode, and we got the second. Our players got the second most rushing yards in a game in the history of Coldwater, with I think 361 or 371, something like that. And we spread the wealth really well. Carson had a bunch, and Derek had a bunch, and Carter Freed had a bunch, and I think 5 or 6 different guys caught passes. So we did a good job of spreading the wealth. First half, I think we threw 14 passes, I guess, and only won the second half. So good win versus Tri-Village. You know, in their league, they're good in all their sports. I think they won the girls softball championship last year. They have a basketball title a few years back. But good win for us. So, which leads us to Anna. So as you know, if you followed us, Anna, we played Anna in our 4th game this year, and they beat us 14-7. And so it was a frustrating loss. One of our best players, and he still hasn't returned, Braxton Taylor, got hurt about halfway through, right after he had scored a touchdown. And so it was a good tough battle. They scored with 3 or 4 minutes to go in the game, and we couldn't quite punch a couple scores in. They play the same defense that we do, and it creates lots of problems. They blitz a lot and do lots of different things, and just create issues for you. And then our problem last time was what we kept, whether it was a penalty or just a loss of yardage plays, we couldn't just get into a good rhythm like we had the other night, and you know, keep getting first downs and so on and so on and so on. So Anna does a good job with all that, and then offensively, Coach Marino Nick does a really good job with all different kinds of formations and plays, and they just keep you off balance and keep you guessing on what they're going to do. They have some really good skill guys, a couple good backs. Quarterback is a sophomore, but he's pretty slick. Can run and throw, so they do a good job. Also offensively, so they're coming in 10-3. 10-3. They lost to Marion in double overtime. They lost to Minster early, and St. Henry in a really good, tough defensive game. I think 21-7, something like that. So we're playing at Piqua, and so we've always had good luck at Piqua. So we like that stadium. For you fans, if you've never been there, it's a great stadium with really good facilities. It's the same size on both sides, press box on both sides, I think. just a really nice. I think we will be the home team. So on the home side, there's lots of good bleacher seats, like that are real seats, like at a professional baseball game, something like that. So really good situation for us, and a great challenge for us. So we're looking forward to the challenge Friday night with Anna. So spotlight last week, I talked about Rudy, our center. This week I was gonna get with Bennett Spriggs, our long snapper, who also is our tight end, but like a specialty long snapping. I'll get to that hopefully next week if we're still alive, and I kind of forgot about it, to get with him to get some video on him, to show a lot of the techniques. So I'm going to talk about some of our scout team guys. So this week I picked 6 of the skill guys that really do a really good job every week. They're either sophomores, I guess. I'm looking at the guys up there, 2 juniors and 3 sophomores that have done a really good job. And hopefully these guys will be players on Friday night next year. But our scout team, for you, if you don't know, they emulate the team that we're playing. So on offense, I have scout team guys. I try to match guys by their skills. I try to match guys sometimes even by their numbers. We'll change numbers in practice. Last week, Alex Layfeld, one of the guys I'll mention, we got him and Austin Uhlenhake, this different color jersey, so they really stood out and had their numbers. And so our scout team, we have Scout O, we have Scout D, we have Scout team kicking game guys. Really, really, really important to our success when those guys will buy in, and then of course then they're playing against the starters. So if they can handle that, and if they're willing to dive into it and give great effort, they get a lot better because they're playing against really good players, and then obviously that helps them for next year. So 6, 7 guys here. So I mentioned Alex Layfeld. So last week he was Tri-Village's number 4 for us, and ironically, he's going to be number 4 again this week because Anna's all-league receiver and safety is number 4. So he'll keep that same black jersey. We got him a black number 4 jersey, and so he's done a really good job. He's going to be a heck of a player. So Alex is a sophomore. Landon Garcia is always our the main running back of the other team. And so that's probably the most thankless scout team job there is, because the running back, obviously the O-line is not quite as good as the other teams, and so he just gets beat up all the time, and so he does a really good job. So that's Landon Garcia is also a sophomore. Hugh Hemmelgarn is our JV quarterback and backup quarterback. And so Hugh can really sling it. So last week, very similar size, very similar build as last week's quarterback. So we'll put a whatever the quarterback's number is on him. This week it'll be number 7. So he always does a really good job. And so thanks to Hugh for doing that. Another receiver, Parker Arns, always does a really good job for us. Parker's a junior receiver and defensive back, and so Parker always obviously plays receiver and DB in the scout team situations. And then 2 linebackers for today. Even also, I guess Landon, who I mentioned, plays linebacker on the scout team, but Colton Hibner has even got a little taste of some varsity action at the linebacker level, but also, he's a really good JV player and a really good scout team guy. So Colton Hibner is our main, whoever the best linebacker is for the other team, I make Colton that guy. And then Alex Richling, he does all kinds of things. Because he can play center, sometimes he's a scout team center, depending on the size of the other team center. If it's a smaller guy, Alex will do it. If it's a bigger guy, we have Carter Heitkamp that will step in and do that. But Alex also plays linebacker, so he jumps around. He likes being on scout team, and he's a good leader on that. He gets everybody organized, and so he does a really good job. And then the last one, Austin Uhlenhake, Number 5 was a really good player for Tri-Village last week, and so he was number 5 last week. And he does a really good job. He'll be a good safety for us next year, I think. So those 6 guys do a really good job, and I'll come back and mention some of the big boys that do a really good job on scout team next week. So looking forward to the challenge this week versus Anna, and the game, like we said, is at 7 o'clock on Friday at Piqua.